Be cool, be kind, be classy. The cupcakes are sweet and sexy. Have fun and enjoy the journey. Just have a good attorney. No big whoop, no biggie. She lives near New York City. Not just a YouTube show. When you know, you better grab a straw. Learn about the law. It's cool here in the shade, sipping motions and lemonade. Cool heads will prevail, kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Oh, Melanie Little is going live. Oh no, where is Melanie? Follow the island's melody. Is a concert within reach. No surprise, she's at Jones Beach. She heard some music far away. Captain Jack Stack Harbor Bay. He sings and his piano plays. Not all sounds are waterways. Speaking Yiddish and Latin, it's not just for Manhattan. It's for Goethe and Machegas. Ridiculous that insanus. Oy vey, Marcus. Proceed, that's for schmucks. Be cool, be kind, be classy. My cupcakes are sweet and sassy. And not just a YouTube show. When you know, cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Melanie Little is going live.
Good evening, my friends. Good evening. Welcome. Today's Wednesday. Back to one. Today's Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. It's Melanie After Dark. And we're here. We're doing it. The mega motion just dropped. Like literally, I don't know, 5 minutes before I was ready to already go live on Kelsey Fitzsimmons. So I cannot abandon ship. I cannot abandon ship on Kelsey Fitzsimmons right now. Is Aiden going live at 9 o'clock, like his usual Tuesday? Show. Today's Tuesday, right? No, today's Wednesday. Wait, is he going live? He is going live at 9 o'clock. What time? I know it's Wednesday. I've lost all my days. Okay, so let him cover it first with you, and then I will cover it tomorrow with you. Okay, fair enough. I can't abandon Kelsey right now. I've already planned this. It hadn't dropped all day. I had a huge audition today for a major network television show that could change my entire career. Say prayers for not just Kelsey Fitzsimmons, but for me, because if I book it, it could be life-changing. And I've been working on that all day. I've been off the grid. And so I've been waiting for the motion to drop all day. And then everyone was sending me the Kelsey stuff. And I'm like, all right, I got to do the Kelsey stuff. And then I figured it was safe to plan this at 6 o'clock when I was done doing everything for 7:30. And then literally he just published it like 5 minutes ago. So if he's going to do it at 9, let him say everything he wants to say about it. I don't want to stream jump him. I don't like when people do that to me. I wouldn't do that to him. He can tell you everything he wants to tell you. It's 88 pages. So I got a lot to digest there before, but I promise you that I will cover it with you in the morning. Okay. We'll do it like regular time, like 10 a.m. Mass Dad, I do not have the mega motion. From what I understand, it is on tbdailynews.com. He's posted it over there on his website. I know he said I would be going over it before him, but what am I supposed to do? He just posted it 5 minutes ago. Am I supposed to jump ship? There's no way, even if I started right now at 7:30, there's no way that I could finish it in an hour and a half with you, because I'm sure I'm going to have so much to say, just like I have so much to say about Kelsey and Justin. Except I figured the way that I would not get really, really angry like I was was it only last night that I was really angry, is to not read anything before I came on. I figured we'll just read it cold. I did read one document, which I don't know is up. Everyone sent me the motion to attach real estate for the payment of child support, but only one person sent me, I think, plaintiff's verified motion for temporary orders, which has a lot of backstory on Kelsey, a lot of backstory on other events that happened before being served the 209A order, and a trip to Croatia and other things like that. Has anybody seen anything out there with regard to the trip to Croatia and all that stuff? Defense Diaries had it. I gave Defense Diaries something today that they were looking for, which was the original handwritten child support petition. But I've got now something that was filed yesterday. So I don't know if they covered that at all. The handwritten one I sent them, but I couldn't find. They were looking for something else that I just couldn't find. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all about it because I don't only tell you half the story. I'm going to tell you the whole story. I'm getting conflicting stories in the chat. So yeah, that's the handwritten one. This is a typed up one that was filed yesterday in the Probate and Family Court in Massachusetts. And it talks all about how Justin wants sole custody, and he gives all the details of their past relationship and all kinds of horrible things. And you know, when people say, I hate to tell you, I told you so, usually they don't really hate telling you, I told you so. In this case, I hate telling you that I told you so, because follow the money. And this is what I've said. I've said this: follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. Listen, I haven't had the opportunity to do a deep dive into the child support guidelines in Massachusetts, or the chances of an unwed father getting custody in Massachusetts. But I've said from the beginning, follow the money. And I'm going to stick with that. Hang on. I wanted to read to you like a really nasty comment that somebody left me yesterday, and then just be like, it's exactly what I said it was. It's exactly what I said it was. It's exactly what I said it was. Except I don't even know if I screenshot it. Usually I do screenshot them before I send them to Block Island, but I don't see it here right now. So we don't need to waste time on those idiots, because they all watch my show and then they, troll me on the cesspool, and that's what they do. And people are like, oh, just ignore the haters. No, I'm not going to just ignore them. I'm going to call them out. I'm going to call them out, and I'm going to pin their comments to the top so that all of you can see what I deal with on a daily basis. And the fact that I'm still sitting here yelling into this microphone tells you everything you need to know about how hard it is for people to scare me off of a story when I want to report on the story. So I think they should be called out. You shouldn't be able to hide behind a fake name and just say horrible things about people and just get away with that. And you should be called out, because you're a loser. You're a loser. Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Justin. Anybody know how to pronounce his last name? Can anybody send me a phonetic pronunciation of his last name? Aylaian. No idea how to pronounce it. If you actually know, don't guess. Give me like a phonetic pronunciation in the chat of how to say Justin's last name. So many of you have written to me, told me your stories. So many of you have written to me who live in North Andover. There's a lot. There's a lot to the story, and realize that what I'm going to read to you is one side of the story, and there's always at least 3 sides to every story: your side, my side, and the truth. Always. What I find interesting is that in Justin's papers that he filed, he said he was in the garage and he heard multiple gunshots. Multiple gunshots. Didn't we say, or hasn't the narrative been that Noonan shot Kelsey one time in the chest? Well, Justin says he was in the garage and he heard multiple gunshots. Interesting. Interesting. And he's only Lien. Okay, it's Lien. Justin Lien. You know who you are. He was there. He was in the garage. You ready? You're going to be outraged. I'm going to warn you right now that you're going to be outraged. And so I want everyone to take a deep breath and be prepared for the outrage, okay? Yesterday, the 16th at 2:44 p.m., I'm going to read this one first. And I don't know if this one's out there, but you can tell me if you've already seen it. I don't care if you've already seen it, because I'm going to do it my way. This is Justin's motion for temporary orders. I have it. This is what I have, Dr. On Call. I've got this. Got it. Thank you, though. You guys are very collaborative. And before we start reading, I just want to thank Lisa Marie coming in here and gifting 10 memberships. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. And to the 10 new members, welcome. And also, I think I saw somebody gifted another 5 members ships, but I don't see it. Maybe I was mistaken. And Kelly Applegate, thank you for your very generous 50. What in the blue perpendicular fook is going on in Massachusetts? I don't know. I don't know, girl. Thank you for your very generous 50. And for Elaine for sending a hugely generous Venmo. She said, just sat down after working and saw your show schedule for later, and I want to effing scream. Who does this firefighter have connections with? I am effing livid. Thank you for covering. I'm off to find the link to Kelsey's Defense Fund. Thank you, Elaine, for being such an amazing, generous supporter of this channel. And you're awesome. And we'll get to the rest of these questions and things later. And here comes Not That Dina with a 20 saying, I'm not jumping ship on this poor woman. I'm not going to rely on only the word of a man who's trying to take her entire life at her lowest moment. If anybody doesn't know about Darvo, look it up. DARVO. Look it up. Study it. Remember, during the Ashley Benefield trial, we learned also about the wheel of power and control. Look that up too in your spare time. Check it out. All right. Here we go. These are the papers, and we're going to go by what's in the papers. Now, remember also that just because they're in the papers doesn't make them true. This is one person's version of the truth. But if we're going to be fair and we're going to cover this case, we're going to cover all the papers. Okay? That's what we do here. We deal in facts. And notice the timing of this too. Just keep the timing in mind. This was filed yesterday, 2:44 p.m., after the judge decided she was going to throw Kelsey in jail, not amend her conditions of alcohol testing, not give her an alternative to being in pain and what may be considered cruel and unusual punishment, not letting her just simply pee in a cup. And it makes me think, okay? It makes me think about this, because remember when we listened to the recording of Judge McCarthy Neiman and how she was so shooketh. She was shooketh, right? And she sounded like she was shaking, and she sounded like almost like Judge Cannoni sounded when she had her grave concerns. She sounded kind of like that. And we were thinking, why is she acting like that? Why is she behaving that way? Because the details that I'm going to read to you now, the facts that I'm going to read to you now as set forth, the facts according to Justin, were not filed until yesterday. And the hearing was from last week. Okay. So the judge could not have known any of these alleged facts when she was shaking and acting like a crazy judge, unless, I don't know, she's having ex parte communications or somebody was feeding her the information. I don't know. I'm just, now it makes me curious though, because we were wondering why she sounded so spun out. And so this is filed in the trial court, probate and family court department in Essex County, Justice Lien versus Kelsey Fitzsimmons. And this is plaintiff's verified motion for temporary orders. Here we go. I've redacted, I think, everything that needed redaction, including the baby's name, date of birth, Kelsey's address, her parents' address. I think we're good. Now comes the plaintiff, Justice Lien, hereinafter the father, who respectfully moves this honorable court to enter the following temporary orders. 1, custody and parenting time. The father shall have sole legal and physical custody of the party's child. Notice the child has the last name of Justin. I believe it's a boy. I believe he is a boy. The child is a boy. Date of birth, blank, which is just February 2025. Age 7 months, hereinafter, the minor child. Child support. The mother shall pay the father child support pursuant to the Massachusetts child support guidelines. He doesn't want to pay child support. He wants Kelsey to pay him child support. And that's why I need to know more about the guidelines in Massachusetts, because where I live in New York and where I practice in New York, both parents' incomes are added together, and there's a cap of up to, I don't know what it is now, maybe $140,000. And then it's based on the percentage of who makes what, who pays who what. In California, it is a very different calculation. It's about how much percentage of time the child is with the parent. This guy wants Kelsey to pay him child support, and he pays nothing. 3, health insurance. The father shall maintain medical insurance for the benefit of the minor child. Number 4, uninsured medical costs. The parties shall share equally 50-50 in any and all uninsured medical, dental, therapeutic, and or orthodontic expenses for the minor child. The party incurring any uninsured expenses on behalf of the minor child shall provide the other party with a receipt or other proof of payment of such expenses through counsel, and the other party will reimburse him or her within 30 days thereafter via Venmo. 5, childcare and daycare costs. The parties shall share equally 50-50 in any and all childcare and or daycare expenses for the minor child. The party incurring any childcare or daycare expenses on behalf of the minor child shall provide the other party with a receipt or other proof of payment of such expenses through counsel, and the other party will reimburse him or her within 30 days thereafter via Venmo. As reasons, therefore, the father states as follows. Brief background and procedural history. The parties were never married and have one child, blank a Lien, who is 7 months old, born just this past February. The parties resided together with the minor child at this address in North Andover, Mass, until June 27th of 2025. Guess who owns the house? Wild guess. Guess who owns the house? Kelsey, and Kelsey only. And Kelsey let him live with her, and I'm assuming they were engaged. She thought they were going to be married. They were going to share the house. The house is only in Kelsey's name. You know why? Because she's smart. And I tell all my kids, and you should tell all your kids too, maybe, if you've been through this, if you've been through divorce court, buy a house in your own name before you get married. Who made more money? He doesn't even say here who makes what. But I bet Kelsey makes more money than he did, or she did anyway, until she was suspended from the North Andover Police Department. Maybe on June 27th of 2025 is when she kicked him out. Maybe that's when she kicked him out, because on June 28th, that's when the bachelorette party was, right, in Bethel, Maine, and that's when something happened. We're going to hear Justin's version of what happened. The father presently resides with the minor child at his parents' house, located at blank in Stowe, Middlesex County, Massachusetts. Well, I bet he's pissed. She kicked him out. He's got to move back in with mommy and daddy. And now he wants her money. Not only does he want her money, he wants her house. Just wait, because we're going to get there. The father is employed as an EMT/firefighter with the North Andover Fire Department. 5, the mother was formerly employed as a police officer at the North Andover Police Department. On July 14th of 2025, mother's law enforcement certification was suspended. On or about June 30th of 2025, the father sought and obtained an emergency abuse prevention order pursuant to 209A from the Essex County Probate and Family Court, granting him sole custody of the minor child and ordering mother to have no contact with the father or the minor child. Right. That's the same day that the 3 North Andover police officers went to Kelsey's house while she was breastfeeding her baby on the couch to serve her with that order to take her baby away without having heard from Kelsey. He went to court by himself. I wonder who told him to do that. Got a judge based on his word to give him sole custody and a no contact order against Kelsey. On or about July 1 of 2025, the father filed a complaint for custody support parenting time pursuant to Massachusetts General Law 209C in the Essex Probate and Family Court. On or about July 3rd of 2025, mother was criminally charged with 1, armed assault to murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and assault with a dangerous weapon. So 2 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon. See how quickly everything snowballed here? I have more questions after reading these documents than I did to begin with. 9, an extension hearing on father's 209A abuse prevention order against mother, issued June 30th of 2025. That is what set this whole chain of events into motion, by the way, was scheduled for July 14th of 2025. On or about July 11th, 2025, mother, through counsel, requested a continuance of the 209A extension hearing, to which father agreed. Yes, you know why? Because she was shot in the chest on June 30th by a police officer, her buddy, Noonan, and airlifted to Massachusetts General, where she underwent a total of 6 surgeries and remained in the hospital for 53 days. He doesn't put that in his papers, though. That's not in the papers. She just wanted an adjournment. So, we let her have it. That was 14 days after her admission to Massachusetts General, and she remained there for 53 days in total. On or about July 11th of 2025, mother requested a continuance, and father agreed. Isn't that nice of him? A joint motion to continue was filed on July 11th, 2025, which was allowed. The court extended the 209A order and continued the extension hearing to August 1, 2025. On or about August 1, 2025, counsel for both parties and father appeared for the extension hearing. You know why Kelsey didn't appear? Right, because she was still in the hospital fighting for her life. She was arraigned via Zoom from her hospital bed. The court's calendar could not accommodate a full evidentiary hearing, and as such, the court extended the 209A order and continued the extension hearing to September 23rd, 2025 at 8:30 a.m., which is this coming up Tuesday, at the Essex Probate and Family Court in Salem, before the Honorable Mary Black. Okay, so this will be the judge in the family court. Thank you, KVD. That's going to make me burst out into song. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Thank you. Sometimes we need to laugh because we're just going to cry all the time. All the time. On or about August 7th, 2025, mother was arraigned, right, from her hospital bed. It doesn't say that. On 3 felony counts as previously listed, Commonwealth v. Kelsey Fitzsimmons in Lawrence District Court. On or about August 8th, 2025, the day after her arraignment, father filed an amended complaint for custody, support, parenting time, pursuant to General Law 209C in the Essex Probate and Family Court. The mother was served with the father's complaint for custody, support, parenting time, pursuant to General Law 209C on September 5th of 2025. On or about August 25th of 2025, mother was indicted on a charge for assault with a dangerous weapon in violation of Massachusetts General Law 265-15B. So remember, the grand jury did not indict on the attempted murder charge and only indicted on 1 charge of assault with a dangerous weapon. And as opposed to the much larger sentence that she could have received, were she indicted for the attempted murder charge, she's facing on this charge up to 5 years in prison. Up to 5 years in prison. The grand jury failed to return a true bill on the attempted murder charge, and that never happens because, as you know, a good prosecutor can get a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich. On or about August 28th of 2025, mother was released on bail to be set at personal recognizance. The conditions of mother's release were as follows. 1, GPS in place, like an ankle monitor. That is an ankle monitor. 2, 24/7 house arrest except for medical court, attorney visits with 48 hours notice to probation. 3, reside with her mother, Lauren, and her stepdad, William, at their home. No weapons in home, and Corey checks on all people in the home. Those are criminal background checks. 4, and then this is in bold font, stay away / no contact with the victim or with her child. The victim here, allegedly, is Officer Noonan, Officer Patrick Noonan, and she was to have no contact with her child either. 5, no alcohol with Scram. 6, sign any and all releases. And 7, follow treatment plan by Massachusetts General Hospital. Well, that's going to be kind of hard to do when she's in jail in Chicopee. I'm quite sure she's not getting the medical care that is necessary for her. Quite sure. On or about September 11th of 2025, the Superior Court, Judge McCarthy Naiman, issued an order which provides inter alia. Here's your Latin lesson of the day. Inter alia means, among other things, the court's prior order of release is vacated, and now this is in bold as well. Mother is ordered held without bail pursuant to General Law 276/58A, the dangerousness statute. We looked that up the other day, and the statute clearly says you can't revoke bail if someone's not in violation. And I remember we listened to that horrific hearing, and I can't get Kelsey's cries out of my ears. I can't unhear that. But I do remember the probation officer saying she was not in violation. She had completed all of the testing. And so they cuffed her and they put her back in jail. And that was on September 11th, last Thursday. Roman 2, argument. Quote, in issuing any temporary or permanent custody orders, the probate and family court shall consider evidence of past or present abuse towards a parent or child as a factor contrary to the best interests of the child. That is according to General Law 209C, 10E. In October of 2024, while the mother was pregnant, the parties vacationed to Croatia with the father's parents and siblings. Now, I just want to remind you that the baby was born mid-February. So she was like 6 months pregnant and they're going to Croatia. The mother behaved erratically throughout the trip and repeatedly expressed that she wished she had never gotten pregnant and threatened to take her own life and leave a note that it was the father's fault. On or about October 5th of 2024, the mother became incredibly agitated, repeatedly expressed that she wished she had never gotten pregnant, and violently punched herself in the stomach. 3, on or about October 11th of 2024, towards the end of the vacation to Croatia, the mother refused to engage with anyone, including the father. When the father attempted to discuss this behavior, the mother forcefully slapped him on the back. On that same date, while the father and mother were walking along the waterfront, the mother threatened to walk off the edge and drown herself. Lovely flight, says he. Any witnesses? I'm sure his family will say that she wouldn't engage with anyone. I wasn't there. I don't know how they were treating him. How they were treating her. Jen says narcissists make up stories. I got my degree in narcissism from Instagram. Yeah, where are the sworn affidavits from his family? Right. Let's keep going. The night the parties returned home from vacation, the mother was agitated and the father attempted to engage in a calm conversation regarding her behavior throughout the trip. The mother became erratic and began breaking pictures and glassware, knocking items off counters, and kicking and punching doors and walls. The father attempted to calm her down. However, the mother attacked him, punched him in the face, and kicked him in the groins. Thereafter, she retrieved a large knife from the kitchen. The mother began to pace around the house, screaming and pointing the knife at her stomach. The father stated he needed to call 911, and the mother held the knife towards her head and threatened to kill herself. The father eventually calmed her down and insisted that she go to a crisis center in Lawrence, at which she attended several appointments. Well, notice how there's no specific date here. I mean, they've got the October 11th, which is towards the end of the vacation to Croatia. Then it says the night they returned home from vacation, she was agitated and allegedly did all of these things with no other witnesses than Justin. And also, he threatened to call 911, but did he? Did he tell anybody this story, or is this the first time he's telling the story? Where are the police reports? I don't think there are any. On or about February blank 2025, the minor child was born. Oh my gosh, you guys. I think it was the first stream we did on Kelsey Fitzsimmons. There's an article. I got to find it. There's an article, and I don't remember who published it, Mass Live or somebody, but it was all about the baby boom in the North Andover Fire Department. And there was like 9 babies born in the span of a year. And they interviewed Justin, and Justin said he was so happy to be a new dad that he couldn't wait to have another baby. We got to find that article. I know I had it because I pulled it up and read it to you guys. Remember? Yes. And it was after Olivia, I know you'll find it within seconds. It was after the baby was born. He couldn't wait to have another baby. He couldn't wait. But now all of these stories are coming out when they need to, right? When full custody is necessary, and we want to attach a lien to her house, and we want her to pay child support and follow the money. On or about March 9th of 2025, after the parties returned home from a baptism party, the mother suddenly became violent, breaking picture frames, throwing items off kitchen counters, and smashing anything within reach. Well, I mean, that's what she did the last time too. Did she have a habit of breaking picture frames? I mean, it's almost the exact same thing. Breaking picture frames, throwing items off kitchen counters. That's the same thing that he said that she did the other time. He's breaking pictures and glassware, knocking items off counters, kicking and punching doors and walls. I mean, some lawyers, know exactly what to say to get it done. I'm not saying that his attorney's making anything up. The father immediately took the minor child upstairs to pack an overnight bag, intending to bring him to a mutual friend's house. However, the mother followed him upstairs and refused to allow the father to leave. The father called the mother's parents, who were nearby after the party, hopeful that they could assist him with the minor child. Well, that's interesting, because kind of indicates to me that he's not really capable of taking care of an infant. Hmm. I have so many questions. Christy found it. Christy found it. Thank you, Christy. You guys are so collaborative. Ah, here it is. In the Andover Townsman, because we like receipts here. This is how we roll. This is how we do it. You guys got me. You got me, and I got you. Here we go. March 20th, 2025, in the Andover Townsman. Baby boom. North Andover Fire Department sees a new crop of fresh recruits. And look at all the babies being pictured with all the firefighters. They had something like 9 babies born to the fire department. Not born to the fire department, but you know what I mean. Born to the firefighters in the fire department. Something just happened to like all these weird layouts in StreamYard. They changed the whole format here and it's freaking me out. Hang on. And they actually did interview Justin. Let's see what Justin said, because maybe we can help the defense with the papers that they're going to have to file in response to this. Okay, so here's the article from Angelina. Angelina Barube is the author. March, what did I say, March 20th? And I don't know what had happened. Why can't I get the whole article here? Hold on. It's behind a paywall. Okay, well, and just trust me when I read this to you, okay? It says here, can't put it in reader mode. We're gonna have to suffer through pop-ups, but I really want you to see this because this is really important. Okay, they're talking about all the new dads. McAllister, who's another firefighter, said he's watched as firefighter Justin Lien has gone from goofy Uncle Justin to a first-time father. Lien has the youngest child of the baby group at 1 month old. So this is when the baby was 1 month old. Lien and his fiance gave birth to their son on February 16th. For the past 9 months, Lien watched as the other firefighters became dads again, or for the first time. It built excitement of having his own child, he said. Lien remembered holding O'Connor's children when they came to the station. Every time someone had a kid, my fiance and I would look at each other like, I think it's time. Look at these families growing, Lien recalled. Lien's cell phone was on vibrate at work at 3 a.m. the morning he missed the call that it was his turn to become a father. Snow was already accumulating on the ground from the overnight snowstorm. The on-duty lieutenant ran to tell Lien that his fiance might be going into labor. How is your fiance expected to give birth at any day now, and your phone's on vibrate? Really? And you missed the call, so she's got to call the station? Okay. Clue number 1. As he prepared to leave, members of the department cleared snow off his car and packed his things up to get him out the door as soon as possible. It really means a lot knowing you have that many people who care about you and want to help to make sure that not only was I good, that my fiance and kid were going to be okay. The first time dads are experiencing raising children with a support system at the ready. McAllister said the guys will bring their babies over and are able to compare how different situations are handled. The 9 babies are within 9 months of each other and will begin crawling, walking, and eating real food at different times. Elaine said he has already called McAllister or Vu with questions, but all of the North Andover Fire Department family, including Fire Chief John Weir, has been ready to help the dads and moms. John Weir reminds me of the Jerky Boys. If you know, you know. And then it goes on to say, a little bit further down in the article, McAllister and Elaine agreed that they are both looking forward to the future and what the firefighters will get to share, not only in the department, but their personal lives. Out of the 8 firefighters, 5 live in North Andover. The kids will grow up in town and attend school together. Our kids are going to grow up together and hopefully be as close as we are, Elaine said, adding that he already can't wait to have more kids. He can't wait to have more kids. Your Honor, I'd like to call my first witness. For my first witness, I would like to call Angelina Baroob, staff writer at the Andover Townsman. I mean, you and I both know there's no reporter privilege in Massachusetts. I want all of her notes. I want all of her drafts. I want everything that Justin said to her. And I want the questions that she asked him. And I want it all. I'm like Veruca Salt. I want it all. I want it all. I want her notes. I want her outtakes. I want any recordings. I want any video that she took. I want all the photographs that were taken. I want it all. Jess Machado's last tweet about Kelsey. Did you guys just tell me that she just tweeted that Kelsey was pregnant that time of the shooting? Hold on, because I don't know if I can handle that right now. There's a lot of Jess Machado. Hold on. "39 minutes ago, Jessica Machado says on Twitter, a source close to Kelsey Fitzsimmons has informed me that Fitzsimmons was pregnant when she was shot on June 30th and that she has since suffered a miscarriage." What? Um, um, I Right. The hormones. The hormones. Isn't that manslaughter? Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a great point. That's a great point. Of course, Noonan couldn't say that Kelsey pointed the gun at herself because he would be on the hook for killing her baby. I don't know if that counts. If in Massachusetts you have that charge of the death of an unborn child, some states don't. I know Jess, and I know that Jess would not report something unless she absolutely had the receipts on that and absolutely had a source to tell her that that is the truth. And so I am going to take that as true. This case is about to blow up. And now the pieces are falling into place. Because you know how I always knew I was pregnant? I have 5 kids. I also suffered a miscarriage in between some of the kids. And I always knew I was pregnant because I started feeling crazy. I started feeling crazy. And also because I was really like bothered by smells like cologne or hairspray. And it would just like make me sick. I'd walk into an elevator and somebody would have cologne on and I would just go like, and then I'd be like, oh my God, am I pregnant? Yes. Yes. And now it makes sense. How far along was she on June 30th? And was she pregnant at her bachelor party, which was only bachelorette party, which was only on the 28th? And if that's true and she knew she was pregnant, do you really think that she was drinking? And she was already out on leave. And it happens a lot. It happens a lot. You give birth and then you think you're safe because you're breastfeeding and you're not going to get pregnant, right? And some people get pregnant right away after giving birth. Like, it happens. I didn't think my heart could break any more than it has already been broken. But we're going to keep on keeping on because that's what we do. And we're going to keep reading the papers. The father called the mother's parents who were nearby after the party, hopeful that they could assist him with the minor child. After mother's parents arrived, the mother demanded the father hand her child. The mother demanded, meaning Kelsey, demanded the father hand her the minor child. And when he refused, the mother attempted to forcefully remove the minor child from the father's arms. The mother's stepfather restrained the mother upstairs, and the father managed to move downstairs with the minor child. The mother, Kelsey, followed them, and her mother wrestled to restrain her in the kitchen while her stepfather called 911. I want those call logs. After the police and ambulance arrived, emergency personnel informed the mother that she could go to the hospital voluntarily or be transported under a Section 12 hold. And this is underlined now, this next sentence. After a prolonged argument, the mother agreed to go to the hospital, where a physician issued a Section 12 order requiring the mother to remain in the hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. This was March 9th. And what is a Section 12? Is it a 72-hour hold? It says a physician issued a Section 12. It doesn't say if she remained there for 72 hours. It doesn't give any further details on that. On or about May 10th of 2025, the parties met the father's friends at a brewery to introduce them to the minor child because the father thought it'd be a great idea to bring the baby to a brewery. Baby's not even 3 months old. Let's bring the infant to a brewery to meet my buddies. Listen to the next part. The father's friend unintentionally mentioned the name of one of the father's ex-girlfriends, which made the mother incredibly angry, and the evening was cut short. And I'm being told that Kelsey miscarried in jail, which means she would have miscarried after she was discharged from the hospital, because she wasn't put in jail until after she was discharged from the hospital. It reminds me of Jennifer McCabe mentioning John O'Keefe's girlfriend, like John O'Keefe's ex-girlfriend, like, oh yeah, over by Bella's house. Bella's mom, poor Bella's mom got dragged over by, just drive by Bella's mom's house. That is probably the fastest way to cause a fight between a couple. During the drive home, the mother angrily screamed at the father and violently flailed about in the passenger seat for the entire 45 drive. It's probably supposed to say 45-minute drive, 45-mile drive. I don't know. Why would they go to a brewery 45 minutes away with an infant to meet his buddies? Just one of the bad choices. The minor child was in the back seat of the car during the mother's erratic behavior. Pin it on the girl. Pin it on the girl. On June 28th of 2025, the father and mother traveled to Bethel, Maine for a weekend trip with their bridal party at an Airbnb. Yeah, notice how they don't say bachelor, bachelorette party, just a weekend trip with their bridal party. During the evening, the father noticed that the mother was drinking heavily and appeared agitated. Okay, what was the father doing? Was the father on any substances? Are there any witnesses who are going to say the father was drinking heavily? The father was on some substances? I don't know. Some people have unearthed some information that Justin may have a record for something such as like, hold on, because somebody put it in here. Oh, thank you, BK, for gifting 5 memberships. There it is. You're so sweet. To the 5 new members, welcome. K Nickel coming in with receipts says in New Hampshire, June 21st, 2013 at 4:06 p.m., Justin Lien, age 19 of Stowe, Mass, was arrested on Interstate 95 in Hampton Falls and charged with possession and transportation of a controlled drug. So that's interesting to me because all the firefighters that I know have random testing. And so they can't do anything like FDNY. They're randomly tested all the time. Like they can't even like, I can't even say can't even smoke weed, but they can't. But that's interesting to me. Thank you, Kay. And then somebody else said that that was scrubbed from the internet. So I don't know what the controlled drug was. I don't know. This is all I'm getting. But then somebody else said it was dropped to a something. I don't know. And somebody said it was in New Hampshire. So I don't know. That's all I know. At approximately 11 p.m., the mother was incredibly inebriated and insisted that the father go upstairs with her to the master's suite to talk. The father was concerned about her behavior and informed his brother that he may need help. Once in the master's suite, the mother angrily spoke at the father. However, her words were nonsensical. I wonder if she was dosed or roofied or something. You mean her words were nonsensical? The father's brother knocked on the door several times and requested the father's presence downstairs. However, the mother blocked the father from leaving the room. When the father reached for the door, she asked why he would leave and falsely accused him of shutting her fingers in the door. The father informed her that he was removing himself from the situation, and the mother punched the father in the face 3 times. That's also in bold font. The father managed to open the door. However, the mother grabbed his arm and pulled him back into the room. The father's brother yelled that he had seen the mother drag the father into the room. Suddenly, okay, hold on. It's time for story time. Hold on. Let me not really story time, but I'm going to show you a picture because you might not have seen this yet. This is Kelsey on the left, and that is Justin on the right. And I don't know, maybe she's wicked strong. Maybe she's weird. Maybe she can bench. Maybe she can bench Tree Fitty. I don't know. Do you think that she could drag him anywhere? I mean, let's just use our common sense. I don't know. I don't know. The father managed to open the door. However, the mother grabbed his arm and pulled him back in the room. The father's brother yelled that he had seen the mother drag the father into the room. He yelled, "I saw you drag him into the room." What? Suddenly, the mother became calm and pleasantly told the father that nothing happened. They were just talking in bed. The father was incredibly scared and fled the room. You can judge for yourself whether you think he was incredibly scared and fled the room. The father's friends drove him to an inn in Shelburne, New Hampshire. The father was later informed that the mother physically attacked her bridesmaids and ran off into the woods, threatening to harm herself. Well, guess the bridesmaids are going to be called in to testify. After father left, the mother arranged for her parents to pick up the minor child from the father's parents' home at approximately 3 a.m. on June 29th of 2025. Okay, so the baby was not with them. The baby was with Justin's parents. And after Justin fled in fear and went to a hotel or an inn in Shelburne, New Hampshire, Kelsey called her parents and said, "Go get the baby from Justin's parents at 3 a.m." But I thought she was in the woods. Throughout the day of June 29th, the mother sent the father disturbing text messages. Oh, those are going to come out, including but not limited to that she was going far away for a long time and that neither she nor the minor child were okay. The father was incredibly concerned and went to check on them and remove his firearms from the home. Oh, he had firearms too. The mother refused to allow the father to enter the home without her mother present and thereafter refused to allow him to take the minor child. On June 30th of 2025, the father sought and obtained an emergency abuse prevention order pursuant to 209A from the Essex County Probate and Family Court, granting him sole custody of the minor child and ordering mother to have no contact with the father or the child. After the mother was served, the police informed the father he could come pick up the minor child with the police present. Okay, so I guess here's how it went. Knock, knock, knock. Kelsey's on the door, breastfeeding the baby. Noonan and two other officers who she works with at North Andover. She was cleared to go back to work in a couple of days. She had had postpartum. She was out on leave for postpartum. The department knew. She had to file some sort of proceeding against Chief Gray to get her firearms back, and she did. Knock, 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 June 30th. Justin goes by himself to get that order. They have the order in their hand. They're waving it around, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Kels. Hey, girl, what's up? Yeah, we're here to take the baby. And Justin now has sole custody. And, oops, no biggie, no big whoop. Give us the baby." She gives them the baby. They do. Ring, ring, ring. "Hey, Justin, cool. We got the baby. You can come pick up the baby now." Kelsey says, "I want to go upstairs and pack some things for the baby." And Noonan says, "Okay, I'll come with." And Kelsey goes upstairs into the bedroom and Noonan follows. And what happens next is muddy. But what is not in dispute is that Noonan shot Kelsey in the chest. I don't know how far away from her he was. Was he in point blank range? But let's keep going. Oh, and yeah, no, there's no body cam. Sorry. North Andover does not believe in body cams, or they don't have body cams, even though in 2021, they had earmarked something like $104,000 in their budget for body cams. Yeah, for body cams. Yeah, let's keep going. The father went to the residence with his sister. put a pin in that, to pick up the minor child. When he arrived, the mother was upstairs, and the mother's mother handed the father the minor child. Okay, so Kelsey's mother is now there too. Who called her? How did she get there? They skipped that part of the story. He took the minor child and brought him outside to his sister. Thereafter, the father went into the garage to look for luggage to pack a few things. While in the garage, the father heard yelling and then several gunshots. Several gunshots. The father was terrified, ran out the garage door, and began screaming for his sister to run. Run? Did they not have a car? Did they walk there? Did they not have a car? The father subsequently learned that the mother had attempted to shoot one of the officers upstairs. Quote, when there is a finding of a pattern of or serious incident of abuse, the judge must employ a rebuttable presumption that sole or shared custody with the abusive parent is not in the child's best interests. But here's the thing, there's been no finding. There's been no finding because Kelsey has not been able to defend herself or to appear or to tell her story. And why is he telling his sister to run? I have so many questions. The minor child has remained in the father's sole care since June 30th of 2025. Oh, he's had the baby, the infant, for an entire, let's do the math, July, August, September, what, 17th? Round at 30, 60, 77 days, maybe 77 to 79 days. How's that working out for you? He's got his parents helping him because he's living in his parents' house right now. The father is terrified that the mother will harm the minor child. Did she ever harm the minor child? Did she ever threaten to harm the minor child? Because I didn't remember that part of the affidavit. Jess Machado said, I did not post that he was arrested for drugs. Yeah, no, I didn't say you did. I said that you, are people in the chat saying that? I just said that people just directed me to your tweet where you said that that Kelsey was pregnant at the time of the incident and that she has since suffered a miscarriage. And then I have added the detail that the miscarriage was in jail. The father's position is that he should continue to have sole custody of the minor child. As the minor child is only 7 months old, he is in desperate need of stability and continuity to encourage his growth and development. The mother is clearly incapable of prioritizing the minor child's safety and welfare, as shown by her consistent threats to harm herself and the minor child, her physical attacks on the father, and attempting to shoot an officer while knowing the minor child was in the area. The mother cannot prioritize the minor child because the mother has been thrown back in jail by Judge Kathleen McCarthy Naiman. There she is. On or about June 30th of 2025, this court, Judge Ulwick, granted the father sole custody of the minor child and ordered the mother to have no contact with the father or the minor child. Yeah, okay, but those were temporary orders, right? That wasn't permanent sole custody, was it? And that is Essex County Probate and Family Court Judge Ulwick, and then they give the docket number. On or about August 25th, 2025, mother was indicted on a charge for assault with a dangerous weapon in violation of 265-15B. Thereafter, on or about August 28th, mother was released on bail to be set at personal recognizance. The conditions of the mother's release included staying away and having no contact with the minor child. Um, I want, okay, wait, after this is over, I'll tell you another story. On or about September 11th, 2025, the mother's release was vacated. Yeah, we listened to that hearing, and boy, was that vile. Quote, while there's no definite checklist of factors to determine the best interest of the child, we consider certain constants, such as which parent has been the primary caretaker of and formed the strongest bonds with the child, the need for stability and continuity in the child's life, the decision-making capabilities of each parent to address the child's needs, and the living arrangements and lifestyles of each parent, and how such circumstances may affect the child. The mother is presently being held without bail, and she's clearly unable to care for the minor child. Although the Department of Children and Families opened a case, such has been closed based on the father maintaining custody and the mother having no contact with the minor child. I need to know more about that. The DCF opened a case, but they closed it because the mother is in jail and has no contact with the child, so they're not needed anymore. Are you starting to see what could be considered by some to be a motive to incarcerate her? The father can provide a safe, stable, and loving environment for the minor child and is attentive to his needs, including but not limited to scheduling a necessary hernia surgery that mother had previously unilaterally canceled without the father's consent. The father is dedicated to ensuring the safety and well-being of the minor child. Well, I don't know about a hernia surgery being unilaterally canceled without the father's consent, but I'm going to point out to you that they were living together until June 27th. And then on June 27th, they went away to Maine. And then I guess she kicked him out of the house. But then by June 30th, he already got an order against her. So when was this surgery unilaterally canceled? When she was in the hospital fighting for her life after being shot? The father is dedicated to ensuring the safety and well-being of the minor child. Yeah, but he drives in 45 minutes to a brewery to meet his buddies. Yeah, so that's good. The father is seeking child support from the mother pursuant to the Massachusetts child support guidelines. Of course he is. The father, follow the money. The father's employed as an EMT firefighter with the North Andover Fire Department. I don't know how much they make. I don't know if it's public record, his salary, I don't know, but he had the health insurance. So there's that. The mother was formerly employed as a police officer at the North Andover Police Department. Right, she's been suspended without pay. The father's position is that the court should attribute full-time employment minimum wage income, $50 an hour, to the mother for the purposes of child support. Although the mother is presently unable to work, she's being held without bail. As she is being held without bail, she does own a property located in North Andover, Essex County, Mass. So she's in jail. She's suspended from the force. She can't work, but she owns a house. How can I get the house? Oh, I know. I'll file another petition. Hold on one second. So he wants imputed income to her because she can't work and she's been suspended from the force. I don't know how much she was making. I'm sure that you guys can find that out because, like me, you are Alice and you fall into the rabbit hole. And that's why we have an Alice emoji here for members. Lots of special emojis here that we're going to be able to use over and over and over and over again. There's Alice. So he wants the court to impute $15 an hour income to her, even though she's suspended and in jail and can't work and probably will never, ever work as a police officer again. But she does own a property located in North Andover. And he cites a case from 1996, Flaherty versus Flaherty. I guess it was a good old divorce. A party's ownership of substantial assets also may be weighed in determining whether attribution is proper. Footnote 1. The plaintiff's motion to attach real estate for the payment of child support is filed herewith. We're going to look at that next. The motion is further supported by such arguments that may be advanced by counsel at the time of the hearing. Yeah, so in case we think of anything else, Judge, we'll let you know when we get there. Okay, the house is in North Andover. I'm sorry, did I say it was Andover? It's North Andover because Mary Ann says North Andover and Andover are two different towns. Okay, it says that her house is in North Andover. She's also a North Andover police officer, and he's a North Andover firefighter. So if I said that wrong, I meant North the whole entire time. Wherefore, the father respectfully moves this honorable court to allow his motion and grant the request relief requested herein, along with such further orders as this court deems meet and just. And then he signed the verification, which means that he says, I, Justin Alayan, swear and affirm under oath that I have read the foregoing motion and the statements set forth herein are true and correct to the best of my knowledge. XOXO, Justin. As in, just in it for the money. You can use it. Dated 9/16/25, and his attorneys, Kajko, I think that says Weissman, but somebody wrote over it, and Colasanti, Peter Kajko, Christy Candela, Esquires. I was served on Kelsey in jail, and Tim Bradle at his office. And the hearing is going to be next Tuesday, September 23rd at 8:30 a.m. at the Essex Probate and Family Court in Salem. And I think many of you are intending to show up and support. And that would make me, and I'm sure Kelsey, very happy. But no, we're not done yet. We're not done. No, we're not. Because we have the motion to attach Kelsey's property for the payment of child support. I knew you could do it. Nancy says that Kelsey made $66,871 in 2024. Doesn't seem like a lot compared to Canton or Boston PD, because wasn't Kelly Dever, call me Dever, making like well into six figures, and she was only in her 20s. Kelsey's like 27, 28. And so I don't know if you followed up with Justin's. Chelsea. So I don't know. She was out on leave. Somebody said 140 for Dever. And Justin made 90 in 2023. So he made more than she did. And he wants her to pay child support. And I don't know. I can't trust. I don't know if these numbers are real. I mean, I'm going to trust that you guys found them somewhere. But, you know, I like receipts. And so, but I'm going to trust you guys because I know you guys. Sometimes I like one person who was supposed to be like very reliable on the cesspool of Twitter. You guys sent me a post from someone who posted a picture of Judge Naaman, or Judge whatever the hell her name is, McCarthy Naaman. And it wasn't her. It was a different picture from a different Judge McCarthy that was in Florida. So I hesitate now when people give me information. I'm like, I gotta figure it out for myself. All right. I mean, Salem tracks, doesn't it? Just saying. All right. That's not what I wanted. Come back to me. Come back to me. This is plaintiff's motion to attach real estate for the payment of child support. I just want to see if I see, because everyone only had like the first 4 pages of this. And then a bunch of you sent me like screenshots of all the rest. So I'm going to do the best I can. I don't think anybody sent it to me as like a full document. And all of you are sending me stuff that says, read this now, read this now, read this now. But you know how it is. I'm like, I can't, when I'm live, I can't like pivot so easily to read everything that you're sending me right now. But I will try. I promise you I will try. And then we will get to the super chats. And then I'm sure you guys want to hear about the mega motion, but I'm staying here. So plaintiff's motion to attach real estate for the payment of child support. Now comes the plaintiff, Justin Lien, and pursuant to Massachusetts Rule of Domestic Relations 4.1, respectfully moves this honorable court to allow for the attachment of real estate in order to secure the payment of child support. He wants a lien on her property. He wants a lien on her property. With regard to the above captioned action against the defendant, Kelsey Fitzsimmons' mother, all references to parties herein shall mean the father and mother collectively. In support thereof, the father states as follows. Brief background and relevant procedural history. The parties were never married and have one child. Date of birth, February 2025, age 7 months. The parties last lived together with the minor child on or about June 27th, 2025 at Kelsey's house in North Andover. Mother is the sole owner of the real estate located at blank in North Andover, Essex County, Massachusetts, as recorded with the Essex County North Registry of Deeds in 2023. She's had that house all in her own name since 2023. Father currently resides with the minor child at his parents' house, located in Stowe, Middlesex County, Massachusetts. Father is a U.S. Army veteran and is employed as an EMT firefighter with the North Andover Fire Department. I guess that's why he's providing the benefits, because he gets VA benefits, right? Mother was formerly employed as a police officer at the North Andover Police Department. On July 14th, 2025, mother's law enforcement certification was suspended. On or about June 30th, father sought and obtained an emergency abuse prevention order pursuant to 209A from the Essex County Probate and Family Court, granting the father sole custody of the minor child and ordering mother to have no contact with the father or the minor child. On July 1, father filed a complaint for custody support parenting time. On July 3rd, mother was criminally charged with armed assault to murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and assault with a dangerous weapon. An extension hearing on the 209A order against the mother was scheduled for July 14th. On July 11th, they asked for an adjournment. Father agreed, and it was moved to August 1st of 2025. A lot of this is procedural, so I'm going to kind of skip through because we've already read that in the motion that we just read. Mother was arraigned August 7th. August 8th, he filed an amended complaint for custody. Mother was indicted only on the assault with a dangerous weapon charge. On August 28th, mother was released on bail. She was supposed to, but she wasn't. She was not released on bail. With those conditions, GPS, 24/7 health, she was not, because the judge had to do a whole bunch of things and stuff. And so she was not let out until the 8th of September. So that's not true. On or about September 5th, you know why? Because I'm paying attention, and so are you. We pay attention. On or about September 5th, 2025, mother was served with the summons and amended complaint for custody, support, and parenting time. September 10th, mother filed an emergency motion for immediate relief from scram order. And you know, because we heard that hearing and we covered that hearing, and it was horrific. And the recording was even worse than we imagined. On September 11th, the Superior Court, Judge McCarthy Naiman, issued an order on mother's emergency motion, which provides, among other things, the court's prior order of release is vacated and the mother was ordered held without bail. VA benefits do not cover the child. Thank you, Lamassus. I did not know that. So I guess he also has, coverage through the fire department is what I'm imagining. It doesn't cover the child. I don't know. Suze knows a lot of stuff. She's wicked smart. On or about September 11th, mother filed a motion to reconsider imposition of custody and for reinstatement of original terms of release with an order for alternative alcohol testing. And yeah, that was denied. But they didn't say that here. Argument. Pursuant to Massachusetts Rule of Domestic Relations 4.1, the court may authorize the attachment of real estate when there is a reasonable likelihood that the plaintiff will recover judgment in an amount equal to or greater than the amount of attachment sought, and such attachment is necessary to secure satisfaction of the judgment. Well, I don't think that we can say with certainty that he will recover anything once the entire story is out there, because we don't know what we don't know, right? Child support is controlled by General Law 208, Section 28, and the Massachusetts Child Support Guidelines. In determining the amount of child support obligation or in approving the agreement of the parties, the court shall apply the child support guidelines promulgated by the Chief Justice of the trial court, and there shall be a rebuttable presumption that the amount of the order which would result from the application of the, hang on now, because I gotta get to the rest of the document, the rest of the papers. Child support is 22% of income for one child. That's in Massachusetts. But is there a calculation based on both parties' income lumped together? And then, I don't know. So I don't want to talk about the actual calculations right now, unless they're in the papers. If they're in the papers, then I'm going to get it. But hang on tight, because I just heard from somebody who practices family law in Massachusetts. Let me just read this real quick. Thank you, my love. Okay. I mean, usually what I'm learning from someone who practices family law in Massachusetts is that the default is usually 50-50 parenting time, unless, of course, you can show that the co-parent has mental health issues or substance use disorder, or, is crazy, or doesn't take their medication, or is in jail, or something like that. And, as in everything, some people try and use the system to their advantage. We've seen it before. I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just saying we have to, innocent until proven guilty and all. Let me see one second. Here we go. Got it. Got it. You guys are the best. You really are. You are the best. I love you with all of my heart. I really do. I really, 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 really do. Okay, so we're on page 4, I believe, right? The court shall apply the child support guidelines promulgated by the Chief Justice of the trial court, and there shall be a rebuttable presumption that the amount of the order which would result from the application of the guidelines is the appropriate amount of child support to be ordered. The guidelines play a critical role in determining the amount of child support that is appropriate to keep the child as whole as possible. Public policy dictates that children are supported by the financial resources of their parents, and the child support guidelines are periodically reviewed to ensure consistency with these principles. Massachusetts law emphasizes that dependent children should be maintained as completely as possible from the resources of their parents, reflecting the public policy of the Commonwealth. For example, the SJC of Massachusetts emphasized that the duty to support a minor child is statutory and has been recognized for decades. The court noted that both state and federal law provide for the broadest possible support of minor children by their parents. Necessity of attachment. Hold on. I saw something I gotta redact. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Do 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 do. I hope everyone's taking some deep breaths right now. Breathe in, breathe out. Do you remember when we had somebody on? I forget what trial we were watching. I think maybe it was the first Karen Reed trial, and we had somebody come on and do a meditation in the morning before we started court because it was so needed. A yoga teacher. That was amazing. I'm still redacting, so just give me a moment. Okay. Mm, all right. I think we're almost done. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Remember how Karen Reed had to sell her house to pay her attorneys? Well, Kelsey apparently had to put her house on the market too. Here we go. There's a compelling and urgent need for the attachment of the real estate located at Blank Road, North Andover, Essex County, Massachusetts, standing in the name of Kelsey Fitzsimmons as recorded with the Registry of Deeds. As of June 30th, 2025, father has had sole custody of the child pursuant to the abuse prevention order. The mother is ordered to have no contact with the child. Mother has been indicted in the Essex Superior Court on a serious felony charge and is presently held without bail. Father has filed a complaint for custody, support, and parenting time. That's what we just read. Thanks, Olivia. You're the greatest. And as part of this action, father seeks the establishment and enforcement of child support obligations owed by the mother for the benefit of the party's 5-month-old minor child. Given the facts and circumstances herein, there's a reasonable likelihood that the father will obtain judgment granting him both legal and physical custody of the minor child. Well, not so fast, Justin. Because all the facts and circumstances herein have not come out yet. We only hear your side of this. But, let's put a lien on her house. So she can't afford to pay her attorneys for the chain of events that you started when you went behind her back to get this custody and restraining order against her for maybe bogus reasons. I don't know. The severity of mother's pending criminal matter on a serious felony charge combined with the 209A order prohibiting all contact with the minor child demonstrates that she's presently unfit to exercise custody or parenting time. How many lawyers does this guy, do you think, have in his family? I mean, I know you guys sent me tons of articles and things and stuff, but there's definitely some lawyers in his family, right? Yeah. By contrast, father has been the child's sole custodian since June 30th. Yeah, a whole 78 days or so. And taken the necessary steps to secure a safe and secure custodial arrangement through his pending complaint. The totality of these factors strongly supports the conclusion that permanent custody will be awarded to the father, thereby ensuring continuity of care and stability for the child. Thank you, Noodles Mama, for your prayer. All about the Benjamins, Michael. Pure Duckery says there are multiple attorneys in his family. Despite mother's pending criminal charges, her duty and obligations to provide financial support for the minor child remains. At present, mother cannot work in any capacity. Further, upon information and belief, the mother does not have substantial assets, but for the house, the blank road property, we're going to call it the blank road property. Attachment of this property is therefore essential to ensure the child's financial security and to safeguard the child's best interests. Mother acquired the title to the property by quitclaim deed on or about June 27, 2023, as recorded with the Essex County North Registry of Deeds. Shortly thereafter, she obtained a mortgage from a bank in the amount of $388,000. The property is a 1,287 square foot single family residence consisting of 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. On or about August 22nd of 2025, mother and or her family listed the property for sale at a price of $599,000 as reflected on redfin.com. Wow. She probably had to put the property up for sale to pay her lawyers because she was recovering from a gunshot wound in the hospital for 53 days and underwent 6 surgeries, had to cancel the 7th because the judge wouldn't allow her to put the ankle monitor on after the surgery. And then she's now back in jail. The property constitutes the only known asset of mother with substantial value. Gold digger. Given the mother's limited assets and minimal earning potential, it is highly unlikely that she will be able to satisfy her child support obligations through income alone. Significantly, her law enforcement certification was suspended on July 14th of 2025. Whose fault is that? She's also been indicted in Essex Superior Court on 1 count of assault with a dangerous weapon. These factors further diminish her future earning capacity. I'm sorry, but when did innocent until proven guilty just leave the building? Based on the $599,999 initial listing price and the $388,000 original mortgage, mother's equity in the blank property is estimated to be at least $211,999. Footnote 1. Upon information and belief, the listing price of the property recently decreased to $579K. It's hard not to swear, I know, but we got to try and keep it classy because, the thing is, YouTube has an AI program that scans the chat, they scan the comments, and if they don't like something, all of a sudden you get the dreaded yellow dollar sign. And I don't care about the ad revenue on this stream, but what I care about is the stream getting shadow banned, which means it doesn't get pushed out to people, and then nobody sees it, and then nobody learns about it, and then we get sort of like muffled or muzzled, and I don't like that. So please, try and keep it clean. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Because mother's equity, oh wait, here we go. By contrast, her projected child support obligation, even at the lowest possible attribution of income, full-time employment at a minimum wage of $15 an hour, would amount to roughly $31,200 a year for the party's 5-month-old child. Over the next 17 years, this obligation at minimum is expected to be approximately in total $530,400. Wow. He's really counting his chickens, isn't he? I mean, he's calculating out that he's going to get full custody of this boy until this boy is 18 years old. Wow. Wow. Talk about counting your chickens before they're hatched, putting the cart before the horse, and all that kind of good stuff. Because mother's equity in the property falls far short of covering this long-term obligation, it is essential that father secure an attachment on the full equity, $211,999,000, in order to protect the child's right to financial support. Accordingly, father respectfully requests that this court authorize an attachment, meaning a lien, of $211,999, or the total net proceeds from the sale against the property. Without securing the proceeds of this real estate, there's a significant risk that the mother will be unable to contribute in any meaningful way to the support of the party's child. Attachment of the property is therefore essential to preserve the only realistic source of funds available to ensure that the child's right to adequate financial support is protected. The court has consistently recognized that the paramount interest in child support proceedings is the best interest and welfare of the child. Here, absent attachment, there exists a real danger that the sole asset available for the child's benefit will be dissipated or placed beyond the reach of the court. To avoid such an inequitable result and to secure the child's right to ongoing support, the court must authorize the attachment of the property in an amount sufficient to cover mother's anticipated future support obligations. This motion is further supported by such arguments that may be advanced by counsel at the time of hearing. Wherefore, father wants a big giant lien on the mother's house for the entire proceeds of the sale of the house so that he can ensure that his baby is treated properly for the next 17 plus years. XOXO. Just in it for the money. Lien. Peter Kachko, Christy Candela. Let me just I don't know. Let me just point something out. I don't know if this is true. I don't know. I'm just going to put it out there. I just watched the Charlie Sheen documentary like last night or the night before, and so I've got that song in my head. Men, manly men, manly men, manly men. Do manly men suck off the lifeline of a woman? I mean, let's just say we go back to like old-fashioned roles, Some people think that, women should be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen and men should be out there hunting and gathering and, supporting and providing for the family. This guy gets right in there and he wants her house. He wants her money. He wants her baby. If he really cared, in my opinion, about the best interests of the child, he would want the child and not take her money and provide for the child on his own. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Because this tells you everything you need to know about what this is really about. This is not really about the best interests of the child and wanting custody of the child to protect the child from the mother. This is about sucking the life out of the mother by taking away from her everything that she holds dear, everything that she owns, and her baby. And then she's pregnant with your other baby, and she's shot because of a chain of events that you set in motion by going to get a restraining order against her and filing for sole custody without her having the opportunity to be heard, which is a violation of due process, by the way. Constitutional rights go to die in Massachusetts. They're already dead. It's too late. And I said it, follow the money. You always follow the money. In any case, follow the money and you'll figure it out. I'd love to know how much time he's spending with that baby right now. I'd love to know who's really raising that baby. KBD says he probably threatened that he would do this to her. They usually accuse women do abuse men. Yeah, they do. They do. 100%. I'm not denying that whatsoever. I don't know what happened. But if he really wants the best interest of the child, he wouldn't be trying to bury her, because he apparently was very, very supportive of her struggles until he decided he didn't want to be. And the only good thing about, if there is a silver lining, I'm a silver lining person. Usually, most of the time. No, she lost the baby in jail. She had a miscarriage in jail. And so he did this to her. I'm assuming he knew she was pregnant and hormonal, because we've all acted crazy in the beginning stages of pregnancy because that's what the hormones do to you. How long were they together for? Well, they got engaged in October 2024. I don't know how long they were together before that. So she bought her house in 2023 or I'm not sure if it was something that was like she inherited, or I don't know. I don't know the backstory on that. But if he wanted the best interest of his child, he wouldn't want the child's mother in jail. He'd want the child to have his mother, Amy C. says. So let's go to the chat for your thoughts. Kendra, thanks for becoming a member. Rose, thanks for being here for 6 months. Merch idea, appalled and outraged is an apt description. Thanks, Melanie, with curse emoji. Hope you get your life-changing opportunity. Love you. Thank you, Lisa. I just wanted to explain to you why I was off the grid today because, you know, I know that everyone wanted me to cover this like all day, and I just was really busy, neck deep in line learning. So, Vicky says, free Kelsey. Thanks, Vicky. Gigi's back again. She had to rejoin X to get what I needed from maybe some reporter in Massachusetts. Thank you very much, Lisa Marie. Gigi. Mike B from the 413. Thanks for your super chat. The fact that Massachusetts DPH gave him EMT licensing with sealed alleged drug conviction, then he gets hired on a fire department, spells him being juiced in somehow. Love it when you guys come in here spitting facts. Kelly says, look at Jess Machado's latest tweet about Kelsey. I did, Kelly. Thank you very much. Reporting that she was pregnant. And then I added the detail, and she had a miscarriage. And my added detail is that the miscarriage happened in jail, which meant that didn't happen until after she was discharged from the hospital, the miscarriage. Kippy Hippie says, Kippy Hippie became a member. Irish Mima, thanks for your super chat. We want to support Kelsey, but please also be cautious and know your limits if this is too triggering. Hugs and love to all the cupcakes. Thank you. Extra hugs for those, to those that can relate. Thank you, Irish Mima. Not that Dina. This entire order is meant solely to defame her in the public eye. He's getting blowback as he should. Why now? And did the judge know this stuff when she was getting all shooketh? She shouldn't have, because it wasn't in the court filings until yesterday. So I have a lot of questions about who's in the judge's ear, if anyone's in the judge's ear, if the judge is being fed information behind the scenes. A lot of questions. Cajun Butterfly says, this is why I'm so happy to be a member here. Thanks, Melanie, for all the commentary and all the work you do to help us understand these cases. I try. It's not easy. This is like soul sucking. It hurts my soul. It makes me, a lot of this times that we cover cases and it makes me embarrassed to be a lawyer. It makes me, it's hard to separate this from like your own life, you know, and just to like leave it. It's hard to leave it at the mic. I'm an empath like many of you are. Lisa Marie, scram bracelets are commonly used in Massachusetts criminal cases where alcohol monitoring is deemed necessary. What the hell made alcohol was a part of this? F these morons. Well, I guess because of the alleged drunken bachelorette party. Other people said to me, well, they don't have the scram bracelet that uses perspiration alcohol monitoring. They only have the blowing in kind. And somebody else said that in Essex County, everyone has to do the alcohol monitoring. But we point out Karen Reed was charged with second-degree murder and vehicular manslaughter while OUI and leaving the scene of an accident involving personal injury or death. And she didn't have alcohol monitoring or an ankle monitor or GPS monitoring or home arrest. She posted 80,000 cash and was out. So make it make sense. And then, did you hear about this on the Cape? There was a kid arrested, 18 years old, casing out a school and planning a school shooting, and they found pictures of Columbine on his phone. And he was let out of jail on $2,500 bail. Go. You're not a danger to the community. No big whoop. This just happened like yesterday. It varies so widely from county to county. It's insane. Like that 18-year-old kid is not a danger to the community. It's okay to let him out on $2,500 bail. Did you guys see that? Tom CPU's 209A says loss of all guns. She loses her job over it. Yep. She did. She's been suspended. Tom CPU and your sister. Love you both. EKG. What am I missing? She's only charged with felony assault, yet the boyfriend and the judge are treating her like she's Dahmer. Even Karen Reed wasn't treated this bad. I'm not saying something. Right. Exactly. Like I just pointed out. Carol Ann says, It says I'm not a subscriber and I can't comment. I don't know. You only need to be subscribed for, I think I only put like a 5-hour on this because it keeps out the trolls somewhat. Sometimes they just subscribe so they can troll, but people are sending me like emails that they're blocked. I don't know. YouTube has been doing that lately for some weird reason. So I don't know if you are blocked for some reason or hidden. You need to, in your email, send me a link to your YouTube channel. You might not think you have a YouTube channel, but if you have a username, you have a YouTube channel. You need to send me the link. Your username won't do it. And a screenshot of your username won't do it. You need to send me the link and I'll look into it. So that may be the reason, but I don't know. That's really weird because you are a member. So Carol Ann, it could have been, Caroline, I'm Caroline, come into the light. It could just be like, Ahmad was hiding someone and hid you by mistake because fingers on a phone, you know how it works. So just send me your link and I'll take care of it. Thank you. Lisa Marie, scram bracelets have frequently replaced breathalyzers when a person suffers from any pulmonary impairment. Yes, I know, girl, I love you, but they don't have those in Massachusetts, but they do have P-tests. And they brought that into court. The probation officer was there. He said that there's an option where she could go pee in a cup and it would be random, like the judge wanted. The judge wanted it to be random, but they do not have, I know Scram makes them, but Massachusetts doesn't use them. That's the problem. Catherine, wait, she has to move out of her house and he moves in? That isn't legally here in Charleston if house is in her name. I may have heard that wrong. No, he wants a lien on her house. The house was put up for sale in late August. And I think it's probably because she needs to pay her attorney's fees. And so he wants a lien on the house. He wants all the proceeds from the house so that it will cover the cost of all of her future child support until the child's 18, because Justin is convinced that he will be the one to get sole legal custody forever and ever and ever. Amen. Thank you for your 20. Catherine Smith. Liz became a new member. Welcome, Liz. 88. 88 was a very good year. Barry Adams. Melanie, your side eye and the right pauses speak more indignation than many of our letters. As a CT grad from a SUNY school, my Long Island friends cast aspersions with the best side eye that says, "Oh, I'm Barry Adams." You are so right. I know. Listen, I have a very unique sense of humor. Like, you either get it or you don't. It's just the way I was raised. That's my family. That's the way we do it. And people love me or hate me. There's really no middle ground. Kind of like Dave Matthews. People love him or hate him. There's no middle ground with Dave Matthews. Same with the Grateful Dead. Same with me and my sense of humor. So thank you also for becoming a new member. Which SUNY school did you go to? You lived in Connecticut and you went to SUNY? I did my freshman year at Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. 1 year. Coincidentally, Tom Kokanowski and I were both there at the same time and lived in the same dorm and did not know each other until we met through the Brian Camp case. You went to Oswego? Right on. So I hated Trinity College and I left and I ran to Boulder as fast as I could. I mean, it's beautiful and the campus is beautiful, but it was a bunch of rich kids that just got out of boarding school and I couldn't handle it. There were no hippies there and I was a hippie chick, as I still am. New Hampshire woman, so much for in sickness and in health. Yep. Well, they weren't even married yet, thank God. And that was my silver lining that I forgot to circle back to. Thank God she didn't marry him. Thank God. Because he showed his true colors before the wedding, which was scheduled for October 4th of this year. Josh says, wouldn't probation scheduling the urine testing constitute the 48-hour notice to probation for the house arrest? You would think, right? But the judge didn't want to hear it. She didn't want to change the method. She wouldn't factor in the surgeon's letter that came from the trauma surgeon at Harvard. Mitchell says, I wish you luck with the job, but I will really miss you. I'm not going anywhere. Dude, I could book a series regular on an episodic television show and I would still be doing YouTube shows because there's so much waiting around when you're an actor. Don't worry about it. And this isn't a series regular role. It's a guest star role on a TV show that you guys might watch if anybody watches regular TV anymore. But I can't tell you what it is because I'm not allowed them, NDA and all. So yes, but the judge didn't even want to hear it. And even though she wanted it to be random, make it make sense. Make it make sense. I can't. I just can't. Josh, I can't. Nancy, moment of silence for Kelsey and baby, please. Thanks, Nancy. Kelly, Chloe Bit, so we acquit. I trust Jess Machado's porting 100%. That's why the judge is like this. It's literally Karen Reed all over again, protecting other cops who are more important. And for those of you who don't know what Officer Noonan looks like, let me show you Officer Noonan, because you know the judge is all about, you know, Officer Noonan is also very, very, very afraid for his life and stuff. And where's my Noonan picture? Noonan. Well, I don't know where it is right now, but trust me when I tell you that Noonan is like jacked, and like I don't think he's afraid of Kelsey. But you know, maybe he is kind of like Buchanan and Proctor were afraid of Turtle Boy. Josh says unlawful restraint. A lot of issues here, Josh. A lot. Mike B from the 413 up to 72 hours. Up to 72 hours for Section 12. Unless Psych Services says you can go earlier, patient has the right to a court hearing at the 72-hour mark. Yeah, so I don't know if she was held for 72 or she was discharged because they said she was okay. I don't know. Bring Kelsey and her baby home, says Susan. Thank you, Susan. Oh, sweetie, no. A 2023 SJC ruling established that a viable fetus is considered a person under Massachusetts homicide law. Well, oh, sweetie, no. Doesn't that explain Officer Noonan's maybe story? I don't know. We know that Justin showed up and he was in the garage. He was in the garage looking for luggage. Do you think Justin might have told one of the police officers that was there? Oh, Kelsey. Oh, by the way, Kelsey's pregnant. You think Noonan will be charged with anything? Maybe. Kelsey told Noonan she was pregnant. I don't know. Teresa became a member. Welcome, Teresa de Oliveira. And Lynn Banez became a member as well. And Lisa Marie gifted another 10 memberships. You're amazing, Lisa Marie. And then Amy in Arizona gifted another 10 memberships. You guys are awesomely generous, and I love you with all of my heart. And a lot of new members tonight. And Not That Dina says, a tale as old as time. Song as old as rhyme. She's the problem. It's infuriating. She should have had support. This isn't love. No, it's not. Lori Jean says Jess Machado posted Justin at 19 was arrested. Oh, she did not post that. We need to correct that. That's what she said earlier. She did not post that. Somebody else posted that. Thank you, Lori Jean. She posted Kelsey was pregnant when she was shot. Thank you. And so I'm not going to, but other people did post it. Alicia says breastfeeding a baby, then stopping is unhealthy. This is human cruelty to mother and baby. Oh, yes, it is. Pierogi Cacciatori, purple hearts in the chat for Kelsey. Free Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Yes, her favorite color is purple. And hang on a second. And so please wear purple if you choose to support in court next Tuesday or on October 7th. Thank you, Pierogi Cacciatori, for your 10. Massachusetts mass lighting and persecuting established 1692. Excellent, excellent username. Says maybe no one knew she was pregnant until after she was airlifted, hence the delayed presser from the police department after the initial incident. Yep. Chrissy Mel says, as I sit in Norfolk, Essex, I had no idea what's brewing. Melanie, you rock. No, you guys do. You guys do because you're interested in this story. Kay Willis is a realtor. If you want to get the hell out of Dodge, she's your girl. South of Boston, she's here for you. Thanks for gifting 5 memberships, Kay. You're amazing. Lisa Marie coming in with another 20. Can you imagine what this child had to go through drinking formula as opposed to his mommy's milk? He no longer felt her touch and also had to adjust to how many different formulas he's adjusted to. F these people. I told myself I wasn't going to cry tonight, but that is heartbreaking to me. I have 5 kids. I can't imagine somebody taking my infant away from me. I can't imagine it. And I can't imagine an orchestrated effort to do it. Thank you, Lisa Marie. Oops. And then she says, bring this to Texas. I dare them. Decline says, thank you, Melanie, for your heart. Thank you all for watching and for your super chat. No love for the traveling trooper. This does not pass the smell test. Something's off. It is. Thank you, Redondo Beach, for becoming a member. I love Redondo Beach. Josh says, I'm just going to ask, is there a paternity test proving he's the father of the child? Just a question. VA benefits don't cover dependents. Right. Somebody said that VA benefits do not cover dependents, right? And I don't know if there's a paternity test. I don't know. Catastrophe says, Kelsey, if you're somehow watching this stream or chat, you fight and do not give up. We know you're tired, but don't dare let this evil outlive you. Please stay strong. We've got your 6. Yeah, classic Clippy. People have said they wanted to send Kelsey letters of support, and my suggestion was to just Google Tim Bradle's office address and mail them there, and then I'm sure that he or his amazing paralegal Courtney will make sure that she gets them. I don't know how long she's going to be in jail, and so if you mail them to the jail, I think that the jail opens them and reads them, and I'm sure Courtney would be happy to open them and read them to Kelsey when she talks to her. So it could be a quicker way to show your support if you want to. And that would be very kind of you. Thank you, Kay, for your super chat. FKF 2025 says, we'll never fly in Massachusetts. You don't prepay support and assets are not used. A kid is a dreamboat and lawyers should know better. Was this filed in probate court? Yes, this was filed in Essex Probate and Family Court yesterday at 2:44 p.m. Right. Why should she have to prepay support? And it doesn't even say anything like, oh, put a lien on the house and then take the proceeds and put them into escrow until it's decided how much, if any, support she has to pay and who is getting custody. So yeah, it was filed in probate and family court. We have different courts in New York. We have family court and we also have surrogates court. And surrogates court is where you go to fight wills and estates and trusts and things. Surrogates court, and then there's family court. So I guess they have it all lumped into one there. Lisa Marie coming in with another 10. Scram devices on bond provide continuous alcohol supervision, reducing the need for frequent in-person I know, sweetheart, but they don't have that. They don't use that particular device. I'll keep taking your money. I have to keep telling you the same thing. John says she owns a home. He lives in his parents' basement. He does, even though he makes more than her. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is that? Per records, Justin earned $88K in 2023, so he probably got a raise in 24, right? And somebody looked up Kelsey's records and she was making 66. So, but she's got the house. Pierogi Cacciatore Turtle Boy has 2 top contestants for Ratchet Madness 2026. Justin and Justice Kathleen McCarthy Naiman. FKF 2025, thanks for your 5. She was a CO in Essex County prior to becoming a PO, right? She was a corrections officer, Kelsey. And she also was going to law school. And then she became a police officer. And she says, I wonder if she had a previous issue with this judge. I don't know. Brenda says, can the court rule to take donations made to her? I mean, that's a good question. I don't know anything about that. I don't know. Massachusetts lawyers, could the court attach a give, send, go? I'm going to put the give, send, go in the chat, which I guess I forgot to do at the beginning of this. When we first started covering Kelsey's case, I want to say that the give, send, go was something like $3,000. And now it's over $13,000. So while that's good, I know that we can do better. So I know that you guys are so generous, and I'm just going to say that instead of giving me super chats, give them to Kelsey. She's already selling her house. Oops. To pay her lawyers. Let me see if I can pin that in the chat. And I will also link it in the, there it is, in the show notes below. I've never seen it done, but I just don't know. That's a great question. Sandy says, since when does any child support court assume anything for 17 years ahead? This is a joke. It is. It is. I just would like to know from my Massachusetts family law attorney, who so kindly is corresponding with me. I would like to know if you think it's going to be granted. If you think the court will allow an attachment of the house. If you've ever seen that done, if you've ever seen it asked for. I mean, this is not like, you know, the daddy is, it's not like Elon Musk is the parent here. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Sandy, for your 5. Until she bought a home, right? We are in it together, says Kat Randall. Thank you, Kat Randall. You're awesome. James says he's sending me a hug. Thank you, James. I'll take all hugs are accepted. Kirsten became a member. We have a lot of Kirstens here. Kirstens and Kristens. And Caroline Stella became members. Welcome, you guys. FKF 2025. The issue with Bradle's filing is language. He asked to vacate the Scram order. Scram is a brand, and they have several different devices. Massachusetts does use the ankle bracelet, but only for GPS location monitoring. Yes. You're saying that's why people are confused? Because when the judge issued the order, she called it a Scram order. So he's parroting back her language at her, but that might be why people in the chat are confused. I dig. I dig. Thanks for your 10. Mama She, thank you for your super sticker. You're amazing. And also, I think you sent me a cash app the other day because you're very, very super generous. And I love you with all of my heart. Josh said Noonan shot a pregnant woman. He should be charged. Thank you, Josh. Velatine Bilby says a lawyer. Krako is a Croatian name. Oh, thank you, Krako. Krajko is pronounced Krako, and it's a Croatian name. And they were on vacation in Croatia. And Elaine might also be a Croatian name. Thank you for tuning in from all the way from Australia to tell me that. I appreciate you. Ms. Holmes says, collect donos in another name for Kelsey. Yeah, I can't suggest anything like that. I also cannot suggest that you write letters to the court. Please don't do that. Please don't make complaints about the judge. Please don't do any of that kind of stuff. If you want to write a letter and you're itching to write a letter or an email, send it to Bradle's office for Kelsey. Send Kelsey your support. Channel your energy in a positive way. Forget about complaints against the judge. Forget about, you know, starting a petition to get her dethroned. Forget about all that stuff. It doesn't work. You don't have standings to do it. Don't harass Justin. Don't harass anyone in his family. Just send your support directly to Kelsey, because that'll be a much better use of your energy. Please do that. I see people everywhere posting like, send your complaints about the judge here and sign this. Don't let's try and spread love. Okay. Lola says, every time I hear Mr. January, I think he must be in the 2025 hottest parole officer calendar. Needed some comic relief. That's awesome. He was awesome. Mr. January. He was very helpful. He tried to be very helpful to Kelsey. He seems like if you were going to have a probation officer or a parole officer, like that would be the guy that you would want on your side. He wasn't going to violate her. And he said that. He said, she's not in violation. I'm not going to violate her. And the judge was like, oh, well, if the test was incomplete, would you report her to the judge? And he said, no, that's not what we do. We give them an opportunity to complete the test. Yes, please focus on helping Kelsey get out and focus for the baby. Because none of us were there. We don't know what happened. But what we do know is that Kelsey Fitzsimmons is in jail when she's recovering from 6 surgeries, had to cancel a 7th. And yesterday, an 18-year-old who planned a school shooting on the Cape was let out on $2,500 bail with home monitoring. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Yeah, and that would be a great calendar. And Lisa Marie says, I know you actually have feelings. I have zero idea how to donate to you other than here. You're awesome. You're just awesome. Don't worry about me. You're amazing. I want you to keep every dime I give you. I have zero idea how to do it. Oh, well, they're in the corner there. There's a Venmo QR code up there. You can scan it with your phone and use Venmo. And we also have this Buy Me a Coffee. There's the QR code for Buy Me a Coffee. So if you're watching on your TV, you can scan it with your phone. If you're watching on your phone, then it's harder. But the links are always in the show notes below for Venmo and Cash App, and that's very sweet of you. I appreciate that. You're awesome. Catherine says proceeds of the house should go in a trust for the baby. Right? He didn't even suggest that. He just said, I want them for the 18 years of support that are never, ever, ever paid in advance. So, what is this guy doing? I think we know exactly what he's doing. I think we know exactly. I don't know. Pure Duckery. That's a great question. I don't know if Bradel is also representing her in the probate court stuff. I don't know. And yes, by the way, people, says B, YouTube takes 30%. Right. Not only that, but if you're on your phone, if you have an iPhone and you super chat on your iPhone, Apple takes 25% off the top as their VIG for using the App Store, and then YouTube takes 30. So, it's not that a lot of people don't know that though. So yeah, thanks for that. KBD says, I'm infuriated, but I absolutely love bedtime stories with Melanie. Well, I wish I had a more soothing bedtime story for you because I just don't. Melinda sending me an obituary for Sydney Lien, who died in 2014. It's Justin's grandfather. Seems that he was a Boston attorney for many, 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 many years. And thank you to Bobby with an I, who sent me a gift on Venmo, because you could do that too. Who knew? Oh, thank you very much. She says, so glad you're covering Karen. Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Thank you. You're awesome. Okay, so what the plan is that, oh, and here's a patch article. Okay, I wanted receipts on the arrest. What do? You give me receipts on Justin's arrest, because a lot of people said it was scrubbed from the interwebs, but Danielle found it, because you guys are my favorite armchair detectives. So here it is in the patch. New Hampshire State Police make numerous arrests. That's what we do. We like receipts. Thank you, Danielle. This is dated. Oops, that's not the one. Go away. Go away. This is from 2013. Posted July 9th, 2013. This is in the New Hampshire, the Concord, New Hampshire patch. During the past 2 weeks, New Hampshire state troopers arrested the following individuals around the Granite State. And scroll down a little bit. The internet is forever, as you know. Tell your kids. Well, where is it? Hold, please. There you go. Arrested by Troop A on June 21st, 2013. Justin Lien, age 19, of Stowe, Mass., was arrested on Interstate 95 in Hampton Falls and charged with possession and transportation of a controlled drug. I don't know. Kokomo, Indiana goes, can you back up? I thought I saw my name. Well done. Well played. Well done. Well played. You guys are awesome. Here's the plan for tomorrow. Thank you, Colleen, for your Venmo. It says coffee for you. You're a sweetheart. Hashtag free Kelsey. Tomorrow, let's come back at 10. And we will do the mega motion tomorrow at 10. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have all your notifications set to all. Make sure you have nowhere else to be at 10 a.m. tomorrow, because that is when we will be going over the 88-page mega motion filed by Bradel and Betterow in Turtle Boy's case. Thank you, Kathleen, for your Venmo. Says shock and horror. So glad you started everyone looking at this case. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being interested in it. And again, Kim, if you're blocked, I need the link. I need the link. Okay, 10 o'clock. Be there. Be square. You want to do a cupcake raid on somebody? Who should we cupcake raid? Oh, did Aiden start? Wait, hold on. Oh my God, Lisa Marie with $100 super chat. Scram bracelets are commonly used in Massachusetts criminal cases where alcohol monitoring is deemed necessary, but the specific number of times they have been required as a condition of release on bond is not available in public records. Really? Not available? Nope. Thank you, Lisa Marie, for your super generous donations tonight. And FKF 2025 as well. Giving. She's on house arrest and alcohol monitoring is ordered. She has 2 Scram devices, the ankle bracelet for GPS and a portable breathalyzer, also made by Scram. Not enough room to explain completely. I know. All you got to do is go to the Scram website. That's what I did. And you will see the portable blow-in machine. And then she also has one around her ankle. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Thank you so very much, each and every one of you. Okay. Let me teleport you on over to Turtle Boy, but don't make a lot of noise when you go over there because I don't want him to know that I went over so much. I don't know what time he started, but whatever, it's cool. I'm sure he'll be fine because you're going to watch this whole show anyway, and then you're going to come back here at 10 tomorrow to watch me go over his motion that he's probably going over right now. So buckle your seatbelts. I'm going to timestamp everything in the show notes for you here. And let's see if he allows redirection. He does. All right. So when you go in quietly. Okay. Buckle your seatbelts, everyone. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but we're going to get through it together. We're going to get through it together. I promise you. Free Kelsey Fitzsimmons. If anybody can do it, you guys can do it. And I know you will. Prayers up for Kelsey and her baby. And just keep praying. Just keep praying. I love you all. I will see you in the morning. Buckle your seatbelts. Peace out.